Hi everyone, this is Helloangel.design. Today I am going to show you how I make this beautiful skirt step-by-step tutorial. I use lightweight denim fabric. You can use any fabric of your choice. It's a beautiful skirt to make with a garter skirt and elastic. Please support us by subscribing, thumbs up on our video, comment down below if you have any question for our tutorial. It's helpful, thumbs up on our video. And if you're just stopping by, before you exit that video, remember to subscribe. And let's get started. First thing that you have to do, you are going to cut out your fabric. I have cut out my fabric. I'm using lightweight denim fabric, and I'm also using this elastic. The length of my elastic is 2 centimeters. You can use wider elastic or thinner elastic. This is the elastic that I have, so I'm using this elastic. And this is my buttons. I have two different kinds of button right here. I have this reflecting purple button, and I also have this blue button. I might decide to choose one of the two buttons that I have. And this is my fabric. This will be the blanket for the front of the fabric. So I'll place my measuring tape like this. The length of my fabric is 2 inches or 5 centimeters. So I take it to my ironing board. I fold 1 centimeter inside. These other raw edges, I fold 1 centimeter inside, and I give it a nice good press. And this is for my waistband. The length of my waistband is 1.5 inches or 4 centimeters. So when I take my measurement, the fabric is unfold. So when you're taking your measurement, make sure it's unfold and take 1.5 inches or 4 centimeters. This is my made fabric. And my fabric is unfold. This side is unfold, while this side is the raw edges. So I will just open my fabric like this, and I will place my measuring tape at the very top of my fabric. The length of my fabric is 15.25 inches or 39 centimeters. So I'm going to take the width of my fabric. I will place my measuring tape like this. The width of my fabric is 27 inches or 68.5 centimeters. So when you are taking the measurement, make sure that your fabric is on fold. So this is how I cut out my fabric. Let's put the skirt together. First thing that you have to do, you put your fabric together. This is the back of my fabric. This is the front of my fabric. The front will be facing you, while the other side of the front will be facing your mat or your table. All you have to do, take your pin the center front. So this will be the center front of our skirt. Pin the center front all the way down. I have pinned the center front all the way down. The next thing that you have to do, take it to your sewing machine, stitch the center front with your seam allowance. My seam allowance is 1 centimeter. Depends on the seam allowance that you add on your fabric. You go ahead and stitch it all the way down. Once you have done stitching, take it to an ironing board and press the seam apart. So if you cut out your blanket, you haven't fold the raw edges 1 centimeter inside and 1 centimeter. This is the time. Just take it to an ironing board and fold inside 1 centimeter and fold the other raw edges 1 centimeter and give it a nice good press. I have stitched the center front together. I take it to my ironing board. I press the seam apart, and this is my blanket right here. What you are going to do, you pick your blanket, put them together, take your scissors, snip the mid part so that you know that this is the mid part of your fabric, and you also repeat the same process at the bottom. So what you are going to do, you pick your blanket like this. This is our seam where we stitch it together. Make sure that they are matched. You just go ahead and secure that with a pin like this. Once you have done that, you move down to the bottom of the fabric. So when you are pinning them together, you are just picking one of the fabric. You're not pinning the both fabric together. You pick it like this, and this is where I notch already, and this is my seam, and I will pick my fabric and make sure that both seams are matched, and I will secure that with a pin. So what I'm going to do, I will just go ahead and pin it all the way down. So go ahead and start pinning. I have pinned it all the way down. This is how it is. The next thing that you have to do, you take your skirt to your sewing machine. You're going to stitch the both edges to secure the blanket in place. Stitch it all the way down. You come down to this other side, stitch it all the way down. Make sure when you're stitching, you're very close to your edges right there. And when you are also stitching your blanket on your skirt, make sure to separate your fabric. Don't pin the both fabric together, and when you're stitching, don't stitch the both fabric together. Separate the fabric, place it on your sewing machine, and stitch the both edges together. Once you have stitched the both edges together, the next thing that you have to do, you also use that opportunity to hem your skirt. Fold inside 1 centimeter, fold it again 1 centimeter, and stitch it all the way around. So that means you are hemming your skirt at the same time. Go ahead and stitch that together. I have stitched my blanket together. This is how it is. I take it to my ironing board, I press it very nice, and I've also hemmed my skirt all around. This is how it looks beautiful. The next thing that we have to do, we are going to stitch our gather stitch thread at the top edge of our skirt. When you are stitching a gather stitch thread at the top edge of your skirt, this is the blanket. You start stitching from here and you end all around, and then you end on this other side. You're not going to stitch a gather stitch thread at the top of your blanket. Make sure you leave about 1 centimeter and you stitch it all the way around, and you come down here. Before you get to the blanket, make sure you leave about 1 centimeter and you end on this other side. I have stitched a gather stitch thread at the top edge of my skirt. The next thing that I'm going to do, I will just go ahead and start pulling my skirt all around. So I'm going to gather my skirt. So go ahead and gather your skirt all around. Once you have done that, then we can place our waistband on top of it and top stitch. I have gathered my skirt all around. This is how it is. And I take my waistband to my ironing board. I fold inside 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch or 1.3 centimeter, I'm going to use it to cover the raw edges of my skirt. So what I'm going to do, I will fold it into 2 like this, so that I know the mid part of this waistband, and I will take my scissors and notch the mid part. So what I'm going to do, I am going to put them together like this, both center front, and I will pin it together. I'll go ahead and pin it all the way around. So continue pinning your waistband around the waistline of your skirt. I have pinned my waistband around the waistline of my skirt. This is how it is, and this is the center front of my skirt. I have a green pin right here. So the way I am going to stitch my skirt, I will start stitching from here and I will end at the center back, and then I will come down to this other side, start stitching from here, and I will end at the center back. So once I get to this center back, I will put the both waistband fabric together, give it a top stitch, and finish stitching the center back. My seam allowance is 0.5 inches or 1.3 centimeter. So go ahead and stitch the waistband together. Once you have done that, you can either overlock it with your zigzag stitches, or you can take it to your overlocker and overlock the raw edges. Remember to remove your gather stitch thread. I have top stitched the waistband around the waistline of my skirt, and I take it to my overlocker, overlock the raw edges. And the next thing that you have to do, you're going to use your seam allowance to cover the raw edges of your skirt. All you have to do, fold it inside and start pinning it all around, so you are covering the raw edges. Once you have done that, take it to your sewing machine and top stitch. Before you top stitch, also remember to leave a gap. So that gap that you're going to leave, that is where we are going to put our elastic. You can leave about 5 centimeters or 2 inches, depends on the gap that you prefer to leave on your skirt. Leave it so that we can put our elastic once we have done stitching the waistband. I have stitched my waistband all around. This is how it looks, and this is the open gap right here. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to place my elastic around the waistline of the skirt. Make sure you take your child waist measurement. When you take your child waist measurement, you can minus from the elastic. If your child waist measurement is 20, you can minus 1 inch from that and put your elastic around the waistband. If it's too loose, you can also go ahead and keep minusing from your elastic, because you want the skirt to tie around your child waist. So I will just go ahead right now and put my elastic all around. Once I am done with that, I will show you how it looks. I have placed my elastic all around, so I just place them together like this, and I secure with a pin. What I'm going to do, I will take it to my sewing machine and top stitch 2 to 3 times to secure the stitches. Once I am done with that, I will push the elastic inside and stitch the open gap. And I will also use the opportunity to hand stitch my buttons at the front of the skirt. This is the final look of my skirt. Beautiful skirt to make, step-by-step tutorial, easy to make. You can make this for your kids, for loved ones, or you can even make this skirt as a gift for someone. I have stitched my button. I stitched 4 buttons. If you're making this kind of skirt, you don't need to stitch a lot of buttons. You can stitch 4 or minimum 5 buttons on the skirt. And I've also stitched my open gap right here. The skirt that we make today is for 6 to 7 years old child. If you are making a skirt for your child or a dress, remember to always measure your child. Thank you all so much for watching. Before you exit that video, remember to subscribe, thumbs up on our video, comment down below if you have any question. I will do my best to respond to your comment. And also follow us on Edo.Beauty soap, where I make handmade natural soap. Thank you all so much for staying with us, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.